Join me as I dive into some wild fantasy and science fiction books that are nearly guaranteed to make you laugh out loud all day long. A primary reason I read fiction is escapism. I just want to lose myself in a good book for a while. Some books, they do that by sweeping me away with grand themes and tragic circumstances. Some can move me close to tears. Not tears, I don't cry, but close. Eyeball wetness. Some books, they suck me in with gripping action sequences where I can't turn those pages fast enough. But that's not what we're here about today. Here, I'm talking about the books that deliver on the humor, and that's what does it for me. The ones that literally have had me laughing out loud while sitting there with a book in my lap, or while out on a walk with my ear pods in, and I'm suddenly manically laughing to myself in the middle of nowhere. Have people turned and stared at me as I laugh alone? Yes, they have. When humorous fantasy and science fiction delivers on the laughs, you can't help it. You chuckle, you guffaw, you turn and try to explain the humor to your partner, who probably doesn't get it, lacking context, but it's that good. You want to share. So today, I'm going to share. I have 9 books and series of this ilk to share with you. Ones I strongly recommend if you're looking for some laughs. And all of these are about far more than the humor. That's part of why I love them. They have compelling stories. They're well written, in my opinion, and they make you laugh. One disclaimer. I can't help but admit, humor is very subjective. These make me laugh. If you're enough like me, they will make you laugh too. But I cannot make promises. I want to guarantee, but I can't guarantee. However, if you go out and buy these books, no refunds from me. Okay, let's do these as a ranked list because that's what I do. I'm going to start with the ones that have the lightest laughs for me. They're still humorous, they're still worthy, and that'll work my way up to the ones that pack the biggest punch, particularly in the humor department. Number 9, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, first published in 1979. This is a humorous science fiction adventure following the experiences of Arthur Dent as he journeys through space with an eccentric group of characters after Earth's unexpected destruction. The humor flows from the absurdity of the story and its events. I mean, Earth is literally destroyed to make way for an intergalactic highway. The sheer ridiculousness of this and other scenarios is pure comedy. This got some definite chuckles out of me. It's not my favorite book of all time, but Zach really likes this one, and so I definitely felt it's chuckle-worthy enough. It makes number 9. Number 8, Gil's All-Fright Diner, a standalone novel by A. Lee Martinez, published in 2005. Gil's All-Fright Diner is a quirky horror comedy novel where a vampire and a werewolf, just passing through town, team up to save a small town diner from supernatural threats, including zombies and a teenage sorceress. I find the laughs flow from the juxtaposition of everyday diner life with this over-the-top supernatural chaos, and in particular, many of the characters' deadpan reactions to the bizarre events happening around them. Oh, here come the zombies again. The book leans into the comedy, not the horror, for sure. Technically, this qualifies as urban fantasy and was Martinez's first published novel. Due to its success, he's gone on to write many more books, all kind of in the same genre. Number 7, Moon Cops on the Moon by C.T. Phipps in 2023. Came out less than a year ago. It's a humorous sci-fi novel about a subpar police officer. But is he really? You'll have to find that out by reading for yourself. And he's been newly assigned to the Moon Colony. He must navigate the chaos of this place alongside his new partners, his primary partner being a sentient toy dog. Yeah, that sort of humor. And he goes on with his partners, because there's more that he works with, in particular, one other lady. They're tackling bizarre crimes and uncovering conspiracies while dealing with just the absolute absurdity of life on the moon. It's a surprisingly cohesive and humorous book. I mean, moon cups on the moon. You know you're getting silliness, but this actually works. There is now a sequel I saw, Moon City Vice, which I have not yet read, but I've added it to the TBR. Number 6, the Xanth series by Piers Anthony, started way back in 1977, but still being written. There are 47 books out, more on the way. This long-running fantasy saga is set in a magical land where every inhabitant has a unique magical ability. The novels blend humor, puns, and adventure in a whimsical and often satirical narrative. I've read just the first quarter of these books, and I was quite entertained. This was many years ago. I remember them fondly. I would like to go back and read more. Rumor has it the series weakens as you go further in, but I really hadn't experienced any weakness in the parts I read, but that's all that was out when I read them. And so I may go back and check out more. I can say I have no personal experience of the series nosediving in any way. Number 5, Mistborn Era 2 by Brandon Sanderson. First book, this is a quartet. First one came out in 2011, the last one just back in 2022. This is often called the Wax and Wane series. Set 300 years after the original Mistborn trilogy setting, this quartet blends magic, technology, and political intrigue as a group of allomancers tackles evolving threats in a rapidly industrializing world. The humor primarily comes from the character Wayne, who is a seriously odd duck with some definite issues. He, in the narrative, becomes the comedian to Wax's straight man personality. Now, Zach does not find Wayne's character all that funny. He thinks Sanderson tries a little too hard to make Wayne be hilarious, but for me, it totally worked. You should check it out. Number 4, the Zombie Fallout series by Mark Tufo, started in 2014 and ongoing. This is a post-apocalyptic horror comedy that follows the survival adventures of Michael Talbot and his family as they face hordes of zombies, mutated creatures, and other bizarre and sometimes supernatural threats with a mix of humor and gritty determination. This is a series where the humor, well, and honestly the rest of the content, will either work for you brilliantly or will feel completely like a waste of your time. Yes, Eric, I'm talking to you. Obviously, I fall in the former category, having read every book that's come out so far, but I respect that some people see it otherwise. I encourage you to check it out, try it for yourself, and you decide. Number 3, Red Shirts by John Scalzi in 2012. This was actually the winner of the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 2012. It's a meta science fiction novel that follows a group of Starship crew members who realize they are expendable characters on a TV show, leading them to take desperate measures to rewrite their fates. I really appreciated the witty humor Scalzi brings in to his writing here. Of course, the humor starts just with the name of the novel. Any fan of the original Star Trek TV series understands the concept of red shirts. And then this book goes on to cleverly deconstruct this trope of expendable red shirt characters that was not just a Star Trek thing, but any of the older science fiction shows. It's hilarious. It's written really cleverly, and I laughed a lot. Number 2, and perhaps my oddest selection on here, Malazan Book of the Fallen, a 10-book series by Steven Erikson, started in 1999, finished in 2011. I'm currently reading that final book. Now, this is the core series of the Malazan universe. There are many more books to be read in Malazan. They are still being written, both by Steven Erikson and by Ian C. Esselmont. Esselmont is also an official Malazan author. Erikson and Esselmont brainstormed this whole Malazan thing years before they actually started writing the books. How to describe this series? An epic fantasy renowned for its intricate world building, complex characters, and interwoven storylines, exploring themes of war, power, and the rise and fall of civilizations across a vast, darkly poetic narrative. That doesn't sound very funny, does it? But I'm regularly laughing out loud as I read these books. And that's because of the characters. From the banter of the soldiers to the odd behavior and conversations of T-Hole Benedict and his manservant Bug. The humor tends to be dry, sardonic, even gallows humor, particularly among the Marines of the Malazan army. But it provides well-needed comedic relief in the midst of some very dark circumstances in these books. And it's that contrast, I think, that has me laughing so often. Well done. But number one on my list, if you know me, if you follow the channel, this probably isn't a surprise. It's The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. First book came out in 2000. It's an ongoing series. There are 17 novels out now and many short stories and novellas. It's an urban fantasy series featuring Harry Dresden, wisecracking private investigator and wizard who battle supernatural threats in modern-day Chicago while navigating a complex world of magic and intrigue. I simply get Jim Butcher's humor. The tone, the snarky sarcasm, the wisecracks. At the top of the humor cause in these books is this self-deprecating protagonist, Harry Dresden. He frequently finds himself in absurdly precarious situations, sometimes of his own creation, and he delivers internal and sometimes external humorous commentary on these misadventures. The series combines urban fantasy with sharp wit, offering comedic relief through its blend of supernatural elements and everyday problems. Nothing has made me laugh out more often than The Dresden Files, not even close. Well, there you go. My 9 different selections for you of fantasy and science fiction that may make you laugh out loud. Hope you enjoyed this. Maybe even got some new suggestions for your reading. Now, I'd love to hear what makes you laugh. Tell me in the comments below about the fantasy and sci-fi books that make you laugh out loud. Maybe I haven't read them and I can add them to my TBR. And if you have thoughts on any of these 9 that I shared, put those in the comment box as well. Be sure to subscribe for more recommendations and book discussions like this one. Thanks for watching. Keep on laughing, and we'll talk to you next time.